Most of the largest creatures in the world live in the sea, however, more attention is given to land animals since they're easily seen and identified. Today we take a glimpse at many elusive sea creatures larger than some land animals. These 10 sea creatures are the largest discovered by humans. Number 1. Blue whale. If you've seen pictures of the blue whale and said to yourself that it's the biggest ocean animal you've ever seen, you were not wrong. So far, this creature's retained an enviable spot as the largest animal known to have existed. In fact, they outsize dinosaurs. They weigh nearly 441,000 pounds and their heart is about the size of an average car. Due to commercial whaling, the species went nearly extinct in the 20th century. Thankfully, conservationists recovered the animal by pushing for a whaling ban. Today, less than 25,000 individuals are left, and this is good news compared to what was applicable many years ago. Regardless, this animal is endangered and faces many threats, from ship strikes and climate change. Number 2. Lion's mane jellyfish. Although the blue whale is regarded as the largest creature in the sea, the lion's mane is the longest. These sea creatures have tentacles that reach nearly 120 feet long. Scientists don't understand why their appendages are this long. However, they note that these tentacles often get tangled in marine debris or other tentacles, making it hard for the animal to let go. They're vulnerable to predators since their arms are so attractive. Thankfully, these appendages have sufficient poison to take down their prey. The lion's mane jellyfish is a cannibal that feeds on other jellyfish, like moon jellies. Like other jellyfish, they're capable of sexual reproduction in the medusa stage and asexual reproduction in the polyp stage. Females carry their fertilized eggs in their tentacles, where they grow into a larva. Larger fish, like the ocean sunfish and other jellyfish, prey on juveniles, but adults can't be eaten due to their size. Their stinging cells are also a turnoff for animals who want to grab a bite of their flesh. Number 3. Giant Manta Ray. Manta rays are easily distinguished from other sea creatures by their wide mouths and horns called lobes or cephalic fins. Of the two species of manta rays, the giant manta ray is the larger one. However, both have black and white colors on their bellies. Although these huge rays are mistaken for stingrays, they don't have a barb on their tails and can't sting. These species are found in tropical and subtropical waters across the globe. Ecuador has the highest population of these animals, with over 650 identified individuals there. While an average giant manta's wingspan is 23 feet, the largest ever seen reached a whopping 30 feet. This colossal animal made it to the Guinness World Record as the largest manta ray ever discovered. All manta rays are filter feeders that eat shrimp and plankton, including smaller organisms. After taking in a mouthful of water and plankton, they push it over their gill rakers to separate the food and push the water back out. Since they're so massive, they only have a few predators, like killer whales and sharks. Number 4. Oarfish. The oarfish is also called a sea dragon or serpent. Take a closer look at this animal and tell me why it shouldn't be regarded as such. It's the longest living bony fish, living at depths of 3,300 feet. Since they reside in the deep dark water columns of the open ocean and rarely come to the surface, they're often seen dead or washed ashore. Everything we know about the animal comes from specimens washed ashore. This fish species measures 26 feet long and doesn't have scales. They're known for their large eyes that help them navigate dark seawater. Oarfish feed on crustaceans, squid, and plankton by straining them from the water column using their gill rakes in the mouth. Scientists say their eggs are 2 to 4 millimeters in diameter and contain oil droplets. After spawning, the fertilized eggs remain on the water surface until hatching. The eggs take up to 3 weeks to incubate, after which the babies feed on plankton until maturity. Number 5. The giant sea stars. The giant sea star is a species that resides along the western coast of North America, from Southern California to British Columbia. It prefers rocky shores near the low tide mark and feeds on mollusks. They grow up to 24 inches in diameter, and their color ranges from purple to red, depending on the individual. Giant sea stars have small eggs with their sperm containing spherical heads. After the larvae are born, they become symmetrical. When they grow to adulthood, they're centered on a set point with radial symmetry to their bodies. These creatures have thick, blunt spines with purple, white, or pink tips surrounded by pedicellari. These act as a protective mechanism against predators. The giant sea star has a few predators, mainly seabirds and sea otters. However, these giants feed on various sea organisms like bivalves, barnacles, gastropods, and limpets. They eat by extending their stomach to fit into tiny gaps, like mussel shells. Number 6. Japanese spider crab. With a leg span of over 12 feet, the Japanese spider crab is an arthropod from the same phylum as spiders, insects, and crustaceans. Not only is it the largest crab in the family, but it's also the largest living arthropod. As the Japanese spider crab ages, its legs continue to grow, while its carapace remains the same. The adult male chelepids are longer than their walking legs, while the female chelepids are shorter than their walking legs. This animal loses one or more of its legs if caught in a trawl net or bitten off by a predator. However, these missing legs regrow when the crab molts. Juveniles decorate their shells for camouflage. Japanese spider crabs live on the seafloor along Japan's Pacific coast. They're found on sandy and rocky continental slopes and shelves. Adults often migrate to shallower waters, measuring 160 feet deep, while younger ones prefer warm waters, but migrate to deeper water as adults. Rather than hunt, these scavengers look for dead, decaying matter along the sea floor. Their diet includes algae and decaying fish, or invertebrates. Thanks to their armored exoskeleton, they discourage many ocean predators. Number 7. Giant squid. The giant squid takes home the award for the longest cephalopod in history. Scientists have observed this animal in their natural habitat and are confused that no other species beats them in size. The giant squid was first filmed in its deep-sea home in 2012 by a group of scientists from Japan's National Science Museum. Their feeding tentacles could catch prey that was over 30 feet away, meaning the tentacles are like nothing you've ever seen. This animal also features prominently in sea monster tales, where it's often associated with kraken, a famous sea monster. Their main body part contains all the primary organs. The animal's underside has a funnel it uses to pump water and other fluids. This multi-purpose tool is used to expel waste, exhale squirt ink, lay eggs, and navigate the water by jet propulsion. Almost everything known about this animal comes from dead specimens washed on beaches. In most cases, the tentacles fall off or are eaten by other animals. Because the appendages fall off, scientists use the mantle length to measure the squid's size. Number 8. Giant Pacific octopus. The giant Pacific octopus is another cephalopod that cannot be ignored on this list. It's an oversized octopus with a radial speed of over 32 feet. Although reddish-brown, they can change their color when threatened or in need of camouflage. These intelligent creatures can solve mazes, open jars, and play with toys unaided. They entertain guests at aquariums, which explains why collectors love to have them. In the wild, they're found throughout Alaska, the Pacific, northeast Japan, and Baja California. Giant octopuses hunt for lobsters, fish, shrimp, clams, birds, and even sharks at night. They live up to 4 years old and die soon after breeding. Females live long enough to tend to their eggs, but do not eat during this period. Therefore, they pass shortly after their young is born. Like many precious sea animals, they're sensitive to environmental conditions and could be suffering from high population levels in their range. Number 9. Ocean sunfish. Also called mola mola, the ocean sunfish is the heaviest bony fish in the sea. They're also called swimming heads because they don't have tails. This creature measures 10.8 feet long and weighs 5,070 pounds. If you're wondering how this fish swims without a tail, it powers itself with its fins. These fins allow them to swim on their side. This solitary fish is sometimes found in groups while cleaning. Their diet consists of mainly zooplankton and juvenile jellyfish. A female ocean sunfish can produce up to 300 million eggs per brood, making it a world record holder. Babies don't resemble their adult counterparts upon hatching, but they start to look like them as they grow. Their fused beak helps them break small prey into pieces, after which claw-like plates mince them in their throats. Molas are found in temperate and tropical waters around the world and are often basking in the sun near the water's surface. Ocean sunfish are often infected with skin parasites, but would often invite small fish to feed on them. Unfortunately, they're considered vulnerable because environmental conditions are not favorable to them. Number 10. Colossal squid. While some colossal squids are surprisingly tiny, others live up to their titles of being the largest squids ever found. Scientists found one almost 43 feet long and weighing nearly a ton. Given its size, you would think this animal can easily be seen in the water, but it remains elusive, and what is known about them is gotten from dead carcasses found by fishermen. In 2012, a group of Japan's National Science Museum filmed this animal in its natural habitat for the first time. As the camera whirred, the team pulled a 24-foot-long squid to the surface of the water alive. It was the first time this animal was filmed alive for the world to see. It has 8 arms speckled with 2-inch-wide toothed suckers and a sharp beak in the center of its arms. The head holds eyes the size of dinner plates and is the largest in the animal kingdom. The squid's brain is tiny compared to its body, and the main part of its body houses the main organs. See you in another episode.